It's a MeatEater podcast.
Welcome to MeatEater Trivia, the only game show where conservation always wins. I'm your host, Spencer Neuharth, and today we're joined by Janis, Cal, Randall, Marge, MacKenzie, Cory, Anthony, and Matt Miller. Matt, this is your first time on the show. Tell folks what you do here at MeatEater.
I am our Director of Content Partnerships, so I get to work with all the cool brands that help support us and give us all kinds of fun stuff to try out and use in the field.
Mm-hmm. Yanni's best friend.
I thought he was going to say
Cal's
work
friend.
with all the cool people.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Now, you're neighbors with Cal and Randall. What's it like being office neighbors with those fellas?
It's actually kind of nice. It was real quiet up there on the third floor, but now I get to BS with Randall every day, and it's nice. Cal, I don't see as much, but it's good. They're good. They're good neighbors.
Randall, give us a real report now. What's it like to be neighbors with Matt?
Well, it is nice to have someone with a dependable attendance record. I will say I'm still adjusting.
I'm in here most days.
I'm just
I'm
adjusting.
right next to you.
Also neighbors with MacKenzie.
Yeah. I'm just, I don't often
MacKenzie's
make
in an
it
awkward
past my
spot because
office.
she's right next to the bathroom.
That's the thing. I try not to make eye
hear
contact
everything.
on my way to the men's room.
Now, this is a 10-round quiz show with questions from MeatEater's 4 verticals, which are hunting, fishing, conservation, and cooking. There is a prize. MeatEater will donate $500 to the conservation organization of the winner's choosing. And for the stat of the week this week, we're looking at near-perfect games. In 123 episodes, we've had 28 times where someone has gotten 9 out of 10 questions correct, which means that happens 23% of the time. A few times it's happened in the same show, like when Brody and Randall tied with 9 points in episode 473, or when Randall and Cal tied with 9 points in episode 524.
It was fun.
Brody is responsible for 11 of those near-perfect games, followed by Randall with 4, and Steve and Cal with 2. Randall, would you rather win with 8 points or 9 points? Is the 9 just like really bittersweet, or do you just want the dominance?
Just the W.
Just the W.
Yep.
Yanni, it's happened to you once. Do you remember the question you slipped up on where you didn't get the perfect game? This isn't a rhetorical question. I don't know the answer.
Oh, you don't? Was it that recent one maybe where I messed up on
Was it lead?
sugar and maple?
Oh, you're right.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was.
Oh, no, it was
about.
that's right.
was
That's
it-
right.
Yeah, the iron. Was it iron
Iron.
in
Not lead.
beaver teeth?
Iron.
Yeah.
That cost Yanni his perfect game. Didn't know his periodic table.
Yeah,
well
what is
enough.
the periodic symbol?
For iron,
F-E.
Uh-oh.
Fe.
Oh, Randall, clearly
not
that
have
question
remembered
was
it.
not for you.
Oh, sorry.
Yanni said he would not have gotten it, though. Now, here's our infrequently asked questions segment. If you have a trivia-related question for our crew, send it to trivia@themeateater.com with the subject line IFAQ. Jen Ermston wants to know, who is John Schlesinger and why do you always choose his questions? I'm jealous. Well, John Schlesinger and Steve Corson, they are the goats of sending in questions for MeatEater Trivia. I'm actually a little concerned about their home life because they send me so many emails, but I'm very appreciative of their efforts. I bet combined they've sent in between 100 and 200 questions. So a big shout out to John and Steve.
Nicely done.
And to answer your question, Jen, I choose their questions because they send in so many, and sometimes they're perfect for the show. That's John and Steve send me a ton of questions.
Do we pay them?
Really appreciate that.
So
We
Jen's
don't.
takeaway is just send in more.
Send in more questions,
That's
Jen.
it.
Eventually something will stick, and it's going to make it on this show. That's right. Now, we don't have any housekeeping to get to this week, but I want to tell you about the project that I teased at the end of the last episode when I told you we have an exciting announcement. Starting next week on our website, we will be releasing MeatEater crossword puzzles. Yeah, there you go. Clap it up, Yanni. Thank you very much.
It's very
Every
cool.
Wednesday, starting on August 14th, we will have a new crossword puzzle on the MeatEater.com. The topics are similar to what you get in MeatEater Trivia, with the first 3 themes being outdoors, national parks, and hunting. Every crossword puzzle has 20 clues, and the site will track your time and score. You don't need to create an account or log in to play, but by logging in, you'll have the ability to save your work so that you can finish the puzzle later or on a different current device. Now, I want to give you a preview of what the clues are like. I'm going to read you one of the entries, and maybe the room can solve it for you and give you a freebie for that first puzzle. Here it is. The crossword theme is outdoors. This is number 9. Going down, it has 11 letters. Here's your clue. Phlox, poppies, black-eyed Susans, Tom Petty.
Wildflowers.
That's what I was gonna
Wildflowers is exactly right.
Boom.
11 letters. That is an example of the kind of clues that you'll get in the MeatEater crossword games.
Now I hope that's easier than
Like a little-
you sent out a little sample, little test
Yep.
a month ago, and I looked at it for 5 minutes, couldn't figure out a single one, just deleted the email.
I did the exact same thing.
I'm like, yeah, this
My
ain't
attention
for me.
span's too short.
Yeah,
for
lately
that.
we've had Yanni guest host an episode. Randall is going to be guest hosting next week. Shelby guest host an episode. That was so I could focus on this project for a little bit. You're right, it was a little hard to begin with, Yanni, and we're going to make it a little easier, hopefully a little more fun. The first one comes out next week, and as Randall just said, that first answer is wildflowers. Phlox, poppies, and black-eyed Susans are all wildflowers, and Tom Petty released a triple platinum album in 1994 called Wildflowers that had an opening track of the same name. Again, MeatEater crosswords will be available every Wednesday starting next week, and they are free to play. You can get the first one at themeateater.com/games. If you like this podcast, then you'll love this crossword.
Take that, New York Times.
That's right. We're coming for them.
I'm excited. I used bartended at a place that opened at 8 a.m. And the first thing you do is get the crowd that does the crosswords, and it's a bunch of old retired dudes. And,
What crosswords did they play?
New York Times, Missoulian. It was in Missoula. The Gazette, all the Montana papers. But yeah, it was a good crowd. I mean, hopefully we'll have a little more of a stand-up crowd here, and we pile around. But
Those were the honest days of crosswords. It wasn't so easy to Google something if you had to cheat a little
no,
bit.
it was a dictionary. Yeah.
Did you have one of those available
We
at the bar
did.
too?
We had a thesaurus
Okay.
and a dictionary at the bar.
Yeah. TheMeatEater.com next week for that first MeatEater crosswords.
Is there a check function on it? Like as you're going, it'll like on New York Times how there's that check function.
That's right.
Helps you out.
We will when you log in to play the game, or you don't have to log in, like I said, but when you're on the website, we'll explain a little bit. You can reveal a word if you're absolutely stumped. You can reveal a letter if you need some help that way. You can check your answers. Now, all these things, there's an algorithm that gives you a score at the end based on how quick you did it, how accurate you were, and if you have to use any of those cheats, that will take away from your points. That'll be explained on the webpage.
So we're gonna do like a
fancy.
companion deal too, like they do for the New York Times, like the hints article or whatever it is. It's like this week's.
Maybe on this here podcast, you can get some of those hints to help you out with some.
I see what you did. Clever son
Just
of a
like
bitch.
when Randall solved wildflowers for the Phlox, poppies, black-eyed Susans, and Tom Petty. Do you think you'd have gotten that one, Yanni?
Yes.
Right? Okay. Which part of it gave it away? The whole thing, or was there one specific part?
Tom Petty.
Tom Petty. You knew it was wildflowers. Then.
You could have left out Tom Petty
You still would have gotten it.
off the word
Well,
count.
there was a little more help.
Tom
maybe
Petty's makes it fun.
You're not. That's right. A little more fun, and maybe if you're not
Otherwise,
so
it's like
well versed in the outdoors, you have a chance then.
It's like a
if you
biology
know.
test otherwise.
That's
What do you
right.
think the average age of a crossword player is?
My
You know,
mom
I
does a
could-
crossword
I
every
could
morning.
Google that right now. My guess is it's in the early 50s.
Well, the
I
average
don't
age of a
think
Tom
so.
Petty fan at this point, right? Like,
I'd say with the advent of the New York Times mini crossword, it's much lower.
I think you're right. Now it's
But I
become
don't
so
do full-size
app dependent.
crosswords.
I think you're right, MacKenzie. It's probably much younger than it was
yeah,
a
these
decade ago.
What are you, Gen Z?
By only 1 year.
Okay. It's a long
I don't like to talk about that,
They don't
okay?
have the commitment level for that stuff.
Now, the Shelby Index for today is a 3.5, so our winner should get 7 correct answers. And with that, we're on to the game of trivia. Play the drop, Phil.
Look, I need to know what I stand to win.
Everything.
How's that?
You stand to win everything.
Game on, suckers!
Question 1, the topic is cooking, and this first great question is via Stefan Ryskowski. And as always, this will be multiple choice. The USDA recommends you cook a turkey to this temperature, which is when salmonella instantly dies. Is it 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 150 degrees, 165 degrees, or 180 degrees? And for our listeners around the world who don't know Fahrenheit, that's 57 degrees Celsius, 66 degrees, 74 degrees, or 82 degrees.
That was a really nice touch.
A lot of quick answers. Some folks did not even need the choices. Here they are again. 135 degrees, 150 degrees, 165 degrees, or 180 degrees. And we're looking for what the USDA recommends you cook a turkey to, which is when salmonella instantly dies. Do you follow this rule, Yanni? Do you know the answer, and do you follow this rule?
If the answer that I've written is correct, then yes.
Okay. Randall and Cory, very quick to answer. You boys know this one?
I look this up once a year.
Okay. Right at Thanksgiving, or is it after spring turkey season?
Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. And yeah, if I actually get it up to 165 or not, sort of depends on how the day's going.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. Randall just
coming
said
out with
it.
answers.
165 from Randall. Cory says 165. MacKenzie, 165. Matt, 165. Cal, 150. Anthony, Marge, and Yanni saying 165. The correct answer is 165. Nearly the whole room got that. Salmonella is the top cause of foodborne illness
USDA
with
is
poultry.
like for folks who can't walk, you know? It's like,
Although the USDA and CDC strongly recommend cooking a bird to 165 degrees Fahrenheit, there are alternative temperatures that are safe. For example, salmonella will die at 150 degrees after 4 minutes, at 155 degrees after 2 minutes, or at 160 degrees after 30 seconds. So you don't have to hit 165 to kill that disease.
you do to kill that dinner.
It's a good way to look at it. And for our Canadian listeners, the correct answer was 74 degrees Celsius. Question 2, the topic is biology. And this next great question is via Kendon Martin. Encyclopedia Britannica defines this two-word term as, quote, any flesh-eating animal that has no natural predators or enemies. It's a two-word term. The topic is biology. We're looking for the definition for any flesh-eating animal that has no natural predators or enemies. Randall, did you realize on that last one in your little banter that you said the answer 165 degrees?
No, I didn't.
Okay, you had no idea.
Yeah, I just let that slip, I guess. That's tremendously embarrassing.
Didn't matter. The room was done writing. Again, we're on question 2. Encyclopedia Britannica defines this two-word term as any flesh-eating animal that has no natural predators or enemies. Yanni, you got this one?
Believe so.
Okay.
Believe so.
Randall-
Feeling good about it.
Randall looks
I
confident.
think that's called a Kelsey now, revealing the answer to the full room.
That is a throwback to the Wives and Girlfriends episode. There was a question about a definition, a two-word term.
Mm-hmm.
The answer was girl dinner, and I think Kelsey had said in that episode, she goes, the only thing I can think of that it would be is girl dinner.
Yeah.
Which is, there was good reasoning for that, because that was the answer. Marge, on that last question, question 1, about the turkey, she drew us a beautiful Thanksgiving turkey. Do you have a little doodle for question 2? No. Okay. Do you have a good answer for question 2? No. Okay. Again, looking for any flesh-eating animal that has no natural predators or enemies. Your answer should be 2 words. Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Randall saying apex predator. Cory says meso predator. MacKenzie says mega carnivore. Matt, apex predator. Cal, apex predator.
Yeah, that's a
Anthony,
good one.
apex carnivore. Marge, without an answer. Yanni saying apex predator. The correct answer is apex predator
thing, right?
or super predator. What do you guys think? Should we give it to Anthony, who had apex but had carnivore instead of predator?
Randall, think about where we came from.
Ohio. Well, yeah, everyone knows.
Would you guys
folks
go to
from
breakfast
Ohio.
together or something?
I mean, listen, that's not what the term is. If I'm going to be an asshole about it.
Okay.
I don't think that's being an asshole, Phil.
All right, we're gonna be an asshole about it, and Anthony
I wrote
does
down the temperature
not.
at which
I got
salmonella dies. Got
Good
no
point,
points for
Cal.
that.
It occurs to me now that everybody groaned when I said that because I'd revealed the answer. I thought everybody was just reacting poorly to my joke that I sometimes serve an undercooked turkey.
Okay, try not to think about it for the rest of the episode.
I'll try
Randall.
not to.
Listen,
Yeah.
my theory is that's just the way Randall wanted to start. It's just a mental slap to everybody's face. He's so confident he's giving away answers.
Apex predators hold the top position of an ecosystem's food chain. Some examples of apex predators are alligators, grizzlies, killer whales, ospreys, cheetahs, and giant squids. But many ecologists argue that the ultimate apex predator is humans. Question 3, the topic is fishing. Name 3 of the 4 states that the Arkansas River flows through.
Ooh.
The Arkansas River flows through 4 states. You need to tell me 3 of them. This is question 3. Yanni thinking hard. Yanni, how many states do you have so far?
1.
1, okay.
Can I guess what your one state is?
Name 3
It's not that one.
of the 4 states that the Arkansas River flows through. We have Cory searching the room for a map, hoping that some sort of art that has geography in it around here could help him out. Did you find anything, Cory?
That Nebraska map had more details, right?
Yeah, I'm staring at the Nebraska map. It's not helping.
Name 3 of the 4 states that the Arkansas River flows through. Nobody has finished writing quite yet. Except for Randall. First one to put his marker and whiteboard down. Randall, how many do you have for sure?
2. I'm
Okay.
rethinking a third.
Flows through 4 states. You need to tell me 3 of them. How are your hands helping you out there, Anthony? Tell me about what you're doing.
Doing a little geography
Okay.
with the states.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm second guessing my answer.
Cory finishing up his answer. Cory, do you think you have this one right?
No.
Yanni, do you think you have this one right?
No.
Good.
The room is leaking confidence. As I said earlier, next week, Randall is hosting. Randall, how do you feel about the episode you've created?
I'm very excited for it. I've got a little surprise supplementary media.
Okay. I like that. Did you tell Phil yet?
Yeah.
Okay,
Phil
perfect.
thinks it's too long.
Okay.
Genuine
forward to this
hurt
now.
on Dr. Randall's face for those just listening.
Yeah, his response was, I thought you would say that. And I told him I thought it was too long.
And then Phil said, I thought you would say that, Randall.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
boys would be in a real pretzel.
Yeah.
Does everyone have an answer? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Randall saying Colorado, Kansas, Missouri. Cory says Missouri, Colorado, Kansas. MacKenzie says Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee. Matt says Arkansas, Missouri, Alabama. Cal says Colorado. He wrote down 4 states.
Wasn't that the question?
No,
4
You
states?
got to write down 3 of the
cross one out.
4.
Oh.
He says Colorado,
pick the best
New
3.
Mexico, Oklahoma, Texas. Anthony says Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas. Marge says Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma. Janis says Colorado, Oklahoma, Texas. Phil, I don't think anybody got it right.
That'll be a 0%.
Nobody got that one right. The 4 states are Arkansas, which a few of you just didn't bother to write down, thought it was a trick question, Colorado, Kansas, and Oklahoma. A lot of you had 3 of the 4, but not, excuse me, a lot of you had 2 of the 3.
Try to get
Not
cute with it.
all 3. Arkansas, Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma. The Arkansas River is the 6th longest river in the United States and the 45th longest river in the world. It starts in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado and it ends at the Mississippi River in Arkansas. The Colorado portion of the river is famous for its trout and has been named one of the best fly fishing destinations in America by Trout Unlimited. Question 4, the topic is hunting. This next great question is via Matthew Alt. This Miami Dolphin Hall of Famer hosted a hunting and fishing show that aired on ESPN from 1998 to 2005. All Randall needed was this Miami Dolphin Hall of Famer, and he was writing down his answer. The topic is hunting. This Miami Dolphin Hall of Famer hosted a hunting and fishing show that aired on ESPN from 1998 to 2005.
I know one person, and that's because of one movie that is not necessarily a football movie.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
But it is a great movie.
Oh,
One of the best.
yeah, exactly. You're a real thinker.
Cal's confident,
Real
Randall
whodunit.
is confident. Yanni, do you have this one right?
Don't know yet.
Cory Calkins, do you have this one right?
I got a great guess.
This Miami Dolphin Hall of Famer hosted a hunting and fishing show that aired on ESPN from 1998 to 2005.
Did he play on that undefeated Miami Dolphins
I'm
team?
not going to give you any hints, Yanni.
They did the Super Bowl shuffle, Yanni. It was great.
MacKenzie just not going
Wasn't
to
that
pick
the
up her
Bears?
whiteboard
What?
for this one. I respect that stance. Don't even entertain the question. This Miami Dolphin Hall of Famer hosted a hunting and fishing show that aired on ESPN from 1998 to 2005. Is everybody ready?
I don't think.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Randall saying Larry Zonka. Cory says Dan Marino. MacKenzie, without an answer. Matt and Cal and Anthony say Dan Marino. Marge drew a football being kicked through some uprights.
Laces out.
Giannis says Larry Zonka. The correct answer is Larry Zonka. Giannis and Randall got that one right. And for spell check, his last name is Csonka, which neither one of you got right, but you were
I had the
close.
C.
Zonka was famously part of the 1972 perfect season where the Dolphins went 17-0 and won the Super Bowl, Yanni. After retiring from football, he moved to Alaska and started filming his outdoor adventures. Zonka has hosted multiple hunting and fishing programs, including North to Alaska, Suzuki's Great Outdoors, and Zonka Outdoors.
What a crap place to have to play football.
Oh, yeah.
Miami?
He said it drove him to Alaska because he hated the training camp.
Yeah.
The training camp there in the summer would just zap him, so all he could think about was Alaska, and it kind of inspired what became, his outdoor production empire.
That tracks with me.
I guided the nose tackle from that team to a 4-point bull elk in Colorado.
Does he have a name?
Manny Fernandez.
Yanni guided him.
In 1972, you didn't have to be a giant to play nose tackle.
A lot of those just look like average dudes.
Yeah,
Could have been a
totally.
plumber. Question 5. The topic is woodsmanship. This is our listener question of the week, which was won by Tim Jasper for sending this great question. Tim is going to get a board game signed by the crew. If you want a chance to win our listener question of the week, then send your question to trivia@themeateater.com. Merriam-Webster defines this 7-letter word as, quote, a primary root that grows vertically downward and gives off small lateral roots. Merriam-Webster defines this 7-letter word as a primary root that grows vertically downward and gives off small lateral roots. Randall, quick to answer. He's the only one.
No.
Just come on. Okay, Marge. Oh, Marge is already onto her doodle. You know this one, Marge? Marge has this one, and now she's working on her drawing for us. Yanni, you have this one, right?
I believe so.
A primary root that grows vertically downward and gives off small lateral roots. Randall, did you ever watch Zonka Outdoors?
I did.
On ESPN2?
I did. Loved it.
He famously, I think he ended that show after he had to get rescued.
On
off the coast of
boat.
Alaska.
Right.
Yeah, they got caught in a storm, drifted 15 miles off course on a blacktail hunt, and then the show ended.
Yeah.
He was saved. He was saved by the Coast Guard. The crazy thing about the Coast Guard, when they had to come rescue him, I think it was a 10-hour flight to get there. It's all just far away from everything that they were.
Seems hard to believe.
Again, we're on question 5. Merriam-Webster defines this 7-letter word as a primary root that grows vertically downward and gives off small lateral roots. Yanni, Randall, and Marge are confident.
I feel like I know it.
MacKenzie feels like she knows it. And Yanni feels like MacKenzie knows it as well.
I got really excited when the first thing I wrote down was primary and it had 7 letters. And then I realized that it was already in the question.
Well, carnivore was in the carnivore question.
Mm-hmm.
As well as in the question.
Nope.
Well,
predator.
Predator was
That's
in there.
why I didn't put predator.
Yeah.
Any flesh-eating animal that has no natural predators or enemies. Again, we're on question 5. We will get a scoreboard update from Phil after this.
Sure is a fun part of the day. A little trivia.
Oh, it's great.
I love it.
The day doesn't really start until we start playing. That's
Are you
why
a wordler?
No, I'm a
don't-
crossword man. I held my tongue earlier when people were joking about how old you need to be to play crosswords. In fact, Spencer sending me his test crossword inspired me to renew my Time subscription.
Oh, wow.
And then I knocked out a couple bad boys in the first week, and I haven't really touched it since.
He's getting back into playing shape for when the crossword comes out. I think something we'll do is we'll maybe tell you some crew member scores for that week's crossword. Randall doesn't want to be embarrassed by his pathetic score that he has. So he's been practicing. You didn't have a pathetic score. I'm just saying.
I smoked that crossword you sent to me in like 4 minutes.
He smoked the hard crossword that I sent to him. And now he's going to make sure whatever score he has to present to the MeatEater audience is going to be as good as it gets.
I don't mean to come across as a jerk or anything.
Is everybody ready?
It's brutal.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Randall saying taproot. Cory says spiders. MacKenzie without an answer. Matt says primary. Cal says primary. Anthony says the root. Marge says taproot. And drew us a beautiful little garden that has, what are those, carrots?
Dandelions.
Dandelions. Okay. And the large, perfect. And Yanni says taproot. He got it. The correct answer is taproot. The taproot serves many functions like anchoring the plant, absorbing water and nutrients, and storing proteins. In some cases, the part of the plant that we eat is actually the taproot. This is true for vegetables like carrots, radishes, turnips, and beets. Phil, we're halfway through the game of trivia. Give us a scoreboard update.
All right. Everyone's on the board. We've got Cal, Anthony, Cory, and MacKenzie with 1 point. Matt and Maggie have 2. And hey, just like last week's game of trivia, it's down to Randall and Janis currently. They're tied up with 4 points apiece.
Anybody's game.
This is a frustrating game.
I don't think
I don't
so.
find it particularly hard. I cannot think.
You know the taproot one? I've never heard that word in my life.
Never heard of
You know how sometimes you're really close to getting it?
Yeah.
Never heard that
What about
word.
the band? Taproot.
No.
Band.
I don't know what you're talking
Heavy
about.
metal?
That seems helpful.
I think that's the problem.
The bad part is like every basic biology class in the United States has a lesson off of
Taproot?
taproot. Yeah.
Question 6. The topic is cooking. This state produces 60% of America's seafood. And this is measured in pounds. Question 6. The topic is cooking. This state produces 60% of America's seafood. Cory, very quick to answer. MacKenzie now joining him with an answer. Yanni is grinning as he writes down an answer. This state produces 60% of America's seafood.
I feel like this is a tricky one.
I feel like it's a trick question.
It's got to be right.
Randall, do you have this one right?
I don't know. I just don't know.
Cory, do you have this one right? The quickest to answer.
I feel like it can't be any other state.
Oh, okay. How about you, Yanni?
Good guess. That's
Okay.
all I got. Good guess.
He liked what Cory said. It seemed to bring him a bit of confidence.
I haven't read anything about, stats along the lines of where most of the seafood comes from. So,
Again, measured in pounds, this state produces 60% of America's seafood. Is everybody ready? Oh, MacKenzie making a last second.
I was just crossing off my non-answers.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Randall saying Alaska. Cory. Alaska. MacKenzie and Matt and Cal saying Alaska. Anthony says Maine. Marge says Maine. Yanni says Alaska.
Could be Louisiana.
The correct answer
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
is Alaska. The room did very well. In 2022, commercial anglers in Alaska produced 5 billion pounds of seafood. That's followed by Louisiana with 900 million pounds, Virginia with 400 million, and Mississippi and Oregon with 200 million.
Boy, that's a steep drop off.
60% of your seafood comes from Alaska.
Wow.
Question 7, the topic is fishing. The Recreational Boating and Fishing Foundation created this 3-word campaign as a way to increase participation in fishing.
Didn't we have this question?
We've not had this question.
It's something so similar.
We had a question about a movement that became a group, which was Leave No
That's what it
Trace. So there's a hint. The answer is not Leave No Trace to this one.
That's helpful.
Question again is the Recreational Boating and Fishing Foundation created this 3-word campaign as a way to increase participation in fishing. Randall and Yanni both have an answer. Do you boys have this one right?
I think so. If it were in any other context, I probably wouldn't be second guessing myself. But given here we are, question 7, all tied up.
I think you
You're
boys
feeling
are
confident.
tied.
No,
Yanni,
I'm
you
overthinking it now.
You have this one right, Yanni?
I don't know. Watch this. Gauge Spencer's reaction to a little quick peek at my board.
Caught a glimpse. Yanni flashed me his answer to the question.
I couldn't
for
read his reaction.
The
though.
Recreational Boating and Fishing
You're not allowed to
Foundation
change it.
I know.
created this 3-word campaign as a way to increase participation in fishing.
I wrote that down and then I erased it and wrote my answer.
Oh,
So we have different
Randall
answers.
saw Yanni's answer.
That's good.
And they disagree.
Good for the game.
Good for the game.
Not going to be good for one of us.
Yeah.
Good for this family.
Well, you never know. We might
Well,
both get it wrong.
I don't like that it was my initial
Oh.
guess.
Is everybody ready?
I've learned over the years of playing MeatEater trivia, you got to stick with your
You
gut.
should have 3 words for your answer.
I'm a coward.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Randall saying, take me fishing. Cory says, let's go fishing. MacKenzie, get out there. Matt, just go fish.
I like that.
Cal, take a kid. Anthony, take a cast. Marge, go fish. Janis, let's go fishing. We have a correct answer in the room. It's take me fishing.
Oh, Randall.
Got
Good
that
work.
one right. When Congress passed the Sport Fishing and Boating Safety Act in 1998, they required the Department of the Interior to address fishing participation. Thus, the Recreational Boating and Fishing Foundation was made, who then created the Take Me Fishing program. Take Me Fishing helps new anglers, especially kids, acquire the gear, licenses, and knowledge to start fishing. You were all on the right track, but only Randall came up with the correct answer.
Strong.
Here's
Randall.
question
Strong
8.
trivia.
The topic is conservation. This endangered amphibian, which has become a popular aquarium pet, is only native to lakes near Mexico City. This endangered amphibian, which has become a popular aquarium pet, is only native to lakes near Mexico City.
Can we have a verbal answer if we don't know how to?
Just write down your answers. Spelling has never mattered except for one time in the history of MeatEater trivia. One question in the 1,300 questions I've ever asked, you had to spell correctly. This one, you do not. This endangered amphibian, which has become a popular aquarium pet, is only native to lakes near Mexico City.
I'm on the same page as you, Marge, I think.
Cory thinks he has it right. MacKenzie and Marge maybe have it right. Randall, do you have an answer written down yet?
I do not, which is
Okay.
surprising because I'm pretty into exotic pets.
Wow, that is surprising.
My kids are obsessed with these things.
Oh, okay. There's a hint if you know Phil's family.
You can see one in town.
Oh, okay. Another hint from Marge.
What? Where at?
At the V.
What? That's enough.
The what?
You're gonna cut us off there.
What's the Vive?
It's an aquarium store where I go for Gary.
Oh, really?
Who's Gary?
Nice.
The goldfish Spencer and Seth did not eat on part of my plate.
That's right.
No way. And you now house him?
Yeah, he's like this big.
Doing well.
I call it the Viv, and I also have to go there to get crickets for my pet frog.
Oh,
So
yeah, the Viv. It's the spot.
this endangered
All
amphibian,
roads lead to the
which
Viv.
has become a popular aquarium pet, is only native to lakes near Mexico City. Phil, would have you gotten this one right if you didn't have the answer in front of you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Because there is another building in Bozeman where you can see one of these. That's not the Vive.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I'm not going to say.
All right.
Phil's house.
We have provided
No.
provided
My kids
many
wish.
hints for this answer. Yanni now has an answer. Randall, do you have an answer?
That's a joke answer.
Okay, is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Randall saying Pokemon. Cory says axolotl. MacKenzie, axolotl. Matt, Gila, Cal, and Anthony without an answer.
couldn't spell.
Marge says axolotl, and she drew us an axolotl.
I should've done
Yanni
that.
says
Sad drawing.
leopard frog. The correct answer is axolotl. About half of the room got that one right.
How do you spell it?
Axolotl.
Oh, wow.
Did anybody have that right?
I just missed the first letter.
Cory was close.
Yeah, Cory was very close.
Axolotl are a type of salamander that reach sexual maturity without undergoing metamorphosis. Instead of taking to land, adults remain fully aquatic and gilled. They are one of the planet's most endangered animals, with recent surveys indicating that there are fewer than 1,000 left in the wild. However, they are easy to breed and take care of in captivity, which has made them popular in the pet trade.
Man, you gotta wonder, right? Like if that species could go back and do it again, would they further evolve, or are they like, no? Long-term survival says kids are gonna put us in tanks, and we're gonna be everywhere.
Yeah, and they are, and they're all white now. Basically, any axolotl
Yeah.
you see in an aquarium is leucistic or albino. There's a series of lakes in Montana called the Axolotl Lakes, which have a tiger salamander in them, which does not fully go through metamorphosis, but they're not a true axolotl. They're high up in some alpine lakes. It's just too cold that determined that they never decided to take that next step.
Yeah, they're like, we're not crawling out of here.
Yeah. Phil, we have 2 questions left. Give us a scoreboard update.
Yeah, let's see. I usually do the math before this, but I wasn't paying any attention. I think, let's see, Randall and Janis are once again the only players. Oh, no, because we're on question 8. So anyone with 3 points can catch up. So, well, no,
to
they
me.
can't. Nope. It's down to Randall and Janis. Randall's got 6. Janis has 5.
We just heard Phil doing the math. Phil, I think you ought to get an axolotl.
Oh, please don't plant. I mean, if my kids ever roll in here again, I know you, and you will definitely plant that in their heads.
I think I will. Question 9. The topic is wildlife. This state capital is known for having North America's largest urban bat population, which you can see at the Congress Avenue Bridge.
I swear to God, we've already had this one.
We've never had this question, I promise you.
I know you have a system for this, but it was worded a different way, maybe.
Nope. I promise. We've had questions about we had a where you had to name a state capital where you could fish in the Missouri River or Mississippi River, I think it was. We've never had this question though.
If you try to take on Spencer's spreadsheets, Cal, it's a losing battle. Let you know.
This state capital is known for having North
winning an
America's
argument against Spencer
largest
was why I did
urban
it.
bat
That would be-
population, which you can see at the Congress Avenue Bridge. Randall, do you have this one right?
I believe so.
Corey, do you have this one right?
I'm just making a guess of a state that I think has a lot of bats.
Marge, you have this one right?
No.
Okay. Yanni, we need you to get this one right to keep pace with Randall, who's confident in his answer.
Yeah, I'm failing at that.
Okay. You need to write down a state capital that is known for having North America's largest urban bat population, which you can see at Congress Avenue Bridge. Randall, have you ever seen this place? Have you been there?
I saw it on the TV.
Okay. That's helpful. No one else in the room looks very confident. Again, your answer will be a state capital. Don't write down the state. Write down the state capital.
I also could be wrong, so. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, maybe the TV was wrong.
I don't want to be. No, I just don't want to be overconfident. I could be misremembering what I saw on the television.
It's super easy. Super easy.
Do you have this one right, Cal?
Yes.
Okay. Have you been there?
Yes, I have.
Oh, did you like see the thing or no?
I feel like it's kind of like impossible to go to this town and not hear about this. I feel like everybody here's been there.
Cal's having deja vu because he already told the story in another game of trivia.
Exactly.
Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Randall saying Austin. Cory says Albuquerque. MacKenzie, St. Paul. Matt, Baltimore. Cal, Austin, Massachusetts. Anthony, Sacramento. Marge, Austin, and she drew us a bat. Janis, Lexington.
Wait a minute, it's Boston, Texas.
I lied when I
Correct
said I
answer.
didn't know.
The correct answer is Austin, Texas. We had about half of the room get that one right. Roughly 1.5 million bats call Austin home from March to September. Each night at sunset, they fly out from the Congress Avenue Bridge to hunt for insects along the Colorado River. The Texas Parks and Wildlife Department says the tourist attraction brings 140,000 people and $10 million to the city each year.
What type of bat?
It's a Mexican, let's see here, did I have it written down? It's a Mexican long-tailed bat or something like that. They're very common in Texas. Now here's a correct answer review so far. Question 1 was 165 degrees. 2, apex predator. 3, Arkansas, Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma. 4, Larry Zonka. 5, Taproot. 6, Alaska. 7, Take Me Fishing. 8, Axolotl. 9, Austin, Texas. And I think with that last question, Randall has wrapped up the victory, but we'll finish the game anyway to see if he can get the near perfect game. Question 10, the topic is hunting. What is the most common shotgun shell length at Bass Pro and Shields? Do you have 7 correct answers right now or 8?
He has 7.
Yeah, 7. Okay, you won't get the near perfect game.
No, I ruined it already.
Again, this is question 10. The topic is hunting. What is the most common shotgun shell length at Bass Pro and Shields? I've heard...
This would have been a good multiple choice to see where people land.
Now, back to the Austin, Texas thing. I've heard Steve bring it up, I think, on Rogan's podcast before. Maybe that's what you were thinking of, but I've never had it as a trivia question.
I've never heard of that Austin bat thing in my life.
You can watch a Nat Geo
Or
special
Taproot.
on it.
You
I
can?
feel like
Oh.
it's like a major tourist attraction.
$10 million.
I've never been to Austin.
I've been to Austin like 5 times and have never.
Yeah.
What
I'm not
exactly
sure it's
were
real.
you doing there?
I was working with Yeti.
Yeah.
Well, next time
So
Eating
you're
some
right.
barbecue.
You're right there.
There's
Go to
some
the
kind
Continental
of
Bridge.
bridges are designed that are like perfect for bats.
So
There's,
they
some gaps
changed
in the cement.
they changed the architecture of that in 1980, and that was what attracted all the bats.
I think we're learning something about Randall right now. You got a bat thing, Randall?
If there was a way to build bridges so that bats are attracted to them, I'd build them the other way.
But they're such a it's a flying mammal, which is amazing.
Yeah. I caught one in a pizza box one time.
I got one on the trail the other day. Found a little sucker laying in the
Oh.
Yeah.
Keeps the insect population down. Think about that: 1.5 million bats flying around eating.
Plus they're like
100
critical
insects.
pollinators.
I'm not discounting their.
This is a pro bat podcast, Randall.
This is a pro bat podcast.
Does everyone have an answer for the most common shotgun shell length at Bass Pro and
Is
Shields?
it? Okay.
Has anybody noticed here in the Gallatin Valley like a serious decline in
I was
bees?
like, I don't want to put something dumb.
I don't
It's
think
like
we've had
millimeters.
any bees in it. Like all our pepper plants, I don't think like cross pollinated this year.
I have heard about this bees issue.
Go on.
Yeah, but it's
all I
probably
know
a
about
nationwide thing.
I got stung yesterday. By a
Really?
bee.
At the house?
No, in the Bridgers.
Was that your first time?
Nice.
Getting stung?
Yeah.
No.
I haven't gotten stung before.
Never?
Really? In your life?
I haven't either.
What?
Oh, I've gotten stung by a wasp.
Did you grow up in a bubble?
No bees
Do you
in
go
that
outside?
bubble. No. Wow. Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Randall saying 3 inches. Cory, 3. MacKenzie, 3. Matt, 2 3/4. Cal, 2 3/4. Anthony, 2.5. Marge, 2 3/4. Yanni, 2 3/4. The correct answer is 2 3/4. I think we had 5 of you get that one right. At Shields, there are 144 shells offered in 2 3/4 versus 123 shells offered in 3 inch. For Bass Pro, there are 84 shells in 2 3/4 versus 48 in 3 inch. After that, the most common lengths at both stores are 3.5 inch, 2.5 inch, and 1 3/4.
Oh man, I totally misunderstood the question. I thought it was like the most common shell sold, which I still think has to be 2 3/4. But obviously, if the variety is,
It's probably the same. I think you'd come to the same conclusion.
Yeah.
No matter how you thought about that. Randall is our winner with 7 correct answers. Just right
not a
on the
shotgun,
Shelby
man.
index. Randall, where is your $500 donation from MeatEater going to go?
I would like to make this donation to the Three Rivers Land Trust in North Carolina's Piedmont and Sandhills area.
I noticed you fumbling with your phone at about question 7, which I assume was to look up what conservation group you were going to donate to.
I received an email from their development associate, Michael Chapita. Apologize if I've mispronounced your last name. And they run a sportsman access program that provides access to 4,000 acres of private lands for hunters in that area.
He was also the first guy to donate $50 to Randall's Venmo account.
I'm not on Venmo. I got kicked off for selling guns.
Randall can easily be bought, and he's sending $500 where?
The Three Rivers Land Trust.
Three Rivers Land Trust. Now a reminder, MeatEater crosswords are available August 14th. That's next week with new puzzles dropping every Wednesday. Go play the first one at themeateater.com/games. Also next week, Randall is going to be hosting, so come right back here for more MeatEater trivia, the only game show where conservation always wins.
Thank you, Spencer.
Thanks, Spencer.
Yeah, Spencer from South Dakota, he's the host. Using those smooth, mellow tones, he lays them questions down. And he likes taking those 2- and 3-year-old bucks. And he's an avid amateur rock hound.